In 24 years in the art or science of judging, I don't want a machine-operated robot to write my judgment for me. The machine-operated robot may give a more mathematically correct answer in a claim for motor accidents compensation. I may make a multiplication error, but the machine-operated robot cannot have the sense of empathy, compassion, which a judge has. It may not have some of our failings, but even AI has failings. It has biases depending on who has designed AI. But we are using AI in a very different context. Cases are filed in our registries. Sometimes cases of a very high value are filed in our registries. The most resourced of citizens are able to ensure that their cases are fast-tracked, while the cases of the poorer citizens take a back seat. I do not want to dwell into that. All of you are conversant with the reasons for that. And I thought for myself, why cannot we use AI to completely replace, as far as we can, the human intervention in the verification of cases for defects? All that is done by the registries to mark out defects, court fees not paid, every page not signed, annexures not properly printed. Artificial intelligence can do that, and we are on the anvil of doing that in the Supreme Court very shortly. Categorization of cases. When a case comes before the court, it is assigned a particular category. Depending on the category to which the case is assigned, the judge gets earmarked. Brother Sivagnanam would announce a roster for judges that for the next session, these are the judges who will deal with Section 482 matters. These are the judges dealing with criminal appeals. Now, if the lawyer has misstated the case categorization, they can doctor the judge before whom the case will come. And I have come across this in the Supreme Court, where a wrong case categorization is given, and the case therefore goes not to Judge A, but to Judge B. I'll make a good faith assumption that it was done by mistake, but it is not always the product of mistakes when the stakes are very high. And therefore we can use artificial intelligence which can read cases rapidly, the entire record rapidly, to at least give you a preliminary case categorization, which can enable us to manage our litigation better by clubbing cases which deal with common issues. Last point, and then I'll be done, on judgment writing. We are going to be discussing in a latter part of the two-day conference on judgment writing. I'd like all of you to spend a little time on asking yourselves one question. Who do we write for? Do we write for judges? Do we write for lawyers? Or do we write for those for whom we are delivering justice? What I'm trying to therefore emphasize is, in the way we write, our effort should be not to complexify the legal problem, but to render that problem as simple as you can. Simplicity, mind you, is not an easy art. It's the most difficult art. Because simplicity, the more simple you are, is a reflection of how uncluttered your mind is. A cluttered desk of a professional is a sign of a confused person who sits at the desk. An uncluttered desk is a sign of an uncluttered mind. And so also the art of judgment writing. We have to write for those for whom our judgments are meant. Namely, in simple language without really too much of recourse to Latin to establish our influence or knowledge of the subject. I'm sure that these are issues which you will be discussing. Last point which I want to make, which is the point on which I began, the concept of constitutional morality. Increasingly you find judges writing about their own ideologies and judgments. I'm not saying that judges do not possess their own personal philosophies. When I was a young member of the bar, we would always say that a particular judge is pro-landlord, or we thought that judge was pro-landlord. We thought a particular judge was pro-tenant. So everybody would run, if you had a case of a tenant, to a pro-tenant judge. These are lawyers' perceptions. They're not always right. They're sometimes right, they're sometimes wrong. But the most important thing is how we as judges convey the work which we are doing. For instance, I find Judge is writing about the fact that I will not give a direction for protection, police protection to a couple merely because that couple was in a consensual relationship outside marriage. But our law protects relationships in the nature of marriage which are not exactly marital relationships. Yet you find judges writing that if you have not entered into a marriage and you are yet staying together, I as a judge will not grant a direction of protection of that couple, that young couple, even if there's a risk that that couple may be subjected to an honor killing. Is that the true nature of a judge? Or are we giving effect to our own personal ideas about what is moral or immoral in place of constitutional morality? Or you come across a case where a judge has said that, well, because this was an interfaith marriage and you had not taken the permission of your parents, I'm not going to grant you the benefit of the protection of the law. Is the judge giving rise to giving vent to their own personal view of how society should live their lives? Therefore, above all, in the work which we do as judges, and this is my last message before I conclude, please remember that we are servants of the Constitution. We are not masters of the Constitution. We may be masters of constitutional interpretation because the task of interpretation is given to us. But we are yet servants of the Constitution. And therefore, the values which we as judges have to espouse, whether you like them or not, these are the values which the Constitution has enshrined for us. What is a just society is not my imagination of what is a just society. What is a just society is the constitutional imagination, the constitutional vision, not the imagination of a just society. And that is a society which is based on human dignity, fraternity, equality, liberty, respect for all, tolerance for all, and inclusion for all. With that, I thank you very much for inviting me. I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, my Lord, the Chief Justice of India, for the address that could only have emanated from a jurist par excellence, whose legal intellect has found nirvana in the perfect syncretic union of Occidental jurisprudence and indigenous principles of justice or nyaya.
Honorable dignitaries, brothers and sisters of the District Judiciary of the participating states, ladies and gentlemen, within the next few minutes, the inaugural session would come to an end. Once the cadence of the national anthem wafts into silence, we shall proceed for a group photograph to freeze the present for posterity and then head for high tea. The group photograph would take a few minutes. We will be needing to make certain arrangements. The dignitaries on the dais would please remain on the dais. We will take 2-3 minutes for making the arrangements for the group photograph. But first we must rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
The first working session shall commence after high tea. After the high tea, the delegates are requested to proceed to the left. After departure of the honorable judges, The honorable judges will please proceed to the judges' lounge on the right for the high tea. Please.
Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. I deem it is my proud privilege to be with all of you. And we are honored, our honorable. And you know, Chandrachudji's, this name is very popular because his father was also. And generation to generation, they are busy with this work and they serve the country and the people for a greater sense. So no need for introduction, but need for his revolutionary steps for digital India and for e-law system. Mr. Gawa, thank you so much for coming over here. Bindalji, Aniruddha, sorry, I should not say Aniruddha, but our Bengali, the habit is Dada and Didi. It is to give them respect. So, Mr. Aniruddha Bose, Dipankar Da and Dipankar Datta, Amader Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Amader Horish Tandonji, Joymallo Bagchiji, IP Mukherjee ji, Attorney General ji, my colleague, Law Minister Malay Ghatok, my Finance Minister Chandrima Bhattacharya, all the judges of Calcutta High Court, and all the judges from District Judiciary and Northeastern part also, and all the registered also. I don't know what to speak, but please consider me as your family member, because I also belong to this law fraternity. In my life, 3-4 cases I also fought, and they offered me one ground. I preserve it. Whenever I will be allowed to practice regularly, not for me, but for public works, for development works. And sometimes I have seen, to give the briefing, it may not be proper in every cases. So it is better if we can fight ourselves, then at least who knows the things, at least may get the opportunity, because now also I am continuing the Bar Association membership. So please give me the live member. Every year giving the subscription, instead of that, give me the live membership, so that sometimes we also on behalf of people, I can assure you no money we will take for that, only voluntarily. Sir, thank you very much. This judiciary is an important temple for us. It is just like Mandir, Masjid, Gurudwara and Girja. It is our supreme authority for delivering the justice to the people, the last frontier for getting justice and upholding constitutional rights. I believe this judiciary is government of the judiciary, by the judiciary, for the judiciary. No. Government, this judiciary is of the people, by the people, and for the people. If judiciary cannot help us, means not me, the common people, then where the people will get the justice? When the people, any problem comes, when we have seen some atrocious, terrible things, then only we hope with a greater interest that only judiciary can solve this problem, and we just watch judiciary. We think they are our the big pillar of the foundation of this country to save the democracy, to save the constitution, and to save the people interest and everything. We are honored and grateful, and I think our privilege that Mr. Chandrachud has initiated so many things, especially for
Madam Chief Minister, if you may please.
digitization and e-judiciary, e-legal system. In our state, we are e-governance, we are number one, sir. You'll be happy to know. And in our state, we have already Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court has mentioned, we gave 1,000 crores we already spent for judiciary, for development. Also, we provided 70 acres of land. And also we provided land for another new high court. That's a Rajarhat. It's a posh area. You asked me one building, I gave it next day. I vacated this building for government, and next day I provided this. We have 88 fast-track court, though earlier Attorney General is here for his information. Earlier, Government of India should have provided the assistance for this fast-track court. But before 8 years ago, they have withdrawn all these facilities. But now we are running, we are the only state we are running 88 fast-track court. Out of that, 55 women fast-track court. And also we have 6 POSCO court. We have 19 human rights courts. We have so many courts like this. And also Jalpaiguri Circuit Bench also, it is new one. And our Judicial Academy, it is one of the biggest academy in the world, and it is very popular. We are proud of our students, and whoever is coming from the judiciary, they are the asset of the country and the asset of the world. Only my humble request will be to all of you. First, I want to apologize to mention this to all of you. It is not my intention to humiliate or manhandle to anyone. But my submission, my kind submission, that please see no political biasness in judiciary. Judiciary must be pure, absolutely pure, honest, secret, and let the people do the puja. Like Sanskrit, they say sometimes puja, sometimes for all the caste, all the creed, all the community, all the people. Even northeastern people are here from Andaman. They are really neglected. Give them bigger opportunity. Sometimes to come to Calcutta and other places also for their greater interest, because nobody takes care for them. They are really neglected. I will appeal for them also. With this word, thank you very much for convening this conference here, and please do it in every time. From our side, there are so many places are available also. I thank to ITC for organizing all these things, West Bengal government, my chief secretary, my police commissioner, my law ministry, my finance ministry, and all, and press media and all. But at the same time, I will request you to do it more and more, so that we can interact and we can open our mouth also. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Madam Chief Minister, for the special address. And now the honorable dignitaries present in this August conference, brothers and sisters of the District Judiciary, ladies and gentlemen, may I now call upon the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, to give voice to the keynote address. My Lord, the Chief Justice of India.
Namaskar.